Dominate first, timidity last. You wake up every day with a choice. Dominate first, or let timidity drag you by the throat. There is no middle ground. The world doesn't pause to ask if you're ready, prepared, comfortable, or confident. It moves, it pushes, it demands. And if you don't get ahead of it, if you don't strike first, if you don't choose to dominate before hesitation wakes up inside you, then you're already behind. Timidity is a slow poison. It whispers excuses. It tells you to wait for a better moment, a better mood, a better version of yourself. That moment never comes. That version never arrives. You either take the day by force, or the day takes you by submission. Domination starts the second your feet hit the floor. The weak start negotiating. The strong start moving. The weak ask, "Do I feel like it?" The strong say, "It doesn't matter." Every morning is a battlefield where your mind tries to sabotage your ambition. That hesitation you feel, that slight pause, that breath of doubt, kill it. End it before it expands. The longer you entertain uncertainty, the faster it becomes your identity. But when you dominate first, when you strike before fear can speak, you build momentum that fear cannot stop. Timidity has a predictable rhythm. It arrives disguised as caution. It says, "Don't rush." It says, "Think it through again." It says, "Maybe tomorrow." But domination has its own rhythm too. It says, "Move now." It says, "Build the pressure." It says, "Create the momentum." The difference between people who live every year the same and those who break ahead is simple. One group waits for the perfect moment. The other creates it. Dominate first, and timidity has no oxygen left. When you choose domination, you stop caring about comfort. Comfort is the coffin of potential. You don't grow in a temperature-controlled box. You grow when you chase the things that make you breathe heavier, think faster, push harder. Timidity tries to protect you from discomfort, but in doing so, it strangles every opportunity that could transform you. Domination invites challenge. Domination demands friction. Domination says, "Give me the pressure because pressure sharpens me." Every task you delay becomes heavier. Every challenge you avoid becomes bigger. Every opportunity you hesitate on begins to rot. You know this. You've lived it. You've watched the days slip. You've watched ideas fade. You've watched chances die. And you've blamed timing, luck, or circumstance. But it was timidity. It was hesitation dressed as logic. It was doubt disguised as caution. Dominate first, and you never give these parasites the chance to grow. The moment you act, even if imperfectly, you create progress. Action destroys fear. Movement suffocates doubt. Domination is not about being perfect. It's about being relentless. You go before you're ready. You start before you're confident. You move before you know the outcome. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is discipline in motion despite fear. Timidity wants you to wait until fear disappears. Domination tells you to walk straight through it. You have wasted enough time already. You've allowed enough hesitation to hold you back. You've let enough doubt dictate your pace. Today you decide to become the version of yourself who does not negotiate with the inner coward. Today you step into the mindset of someone who does not ask for permission from their emotions. Today you declare that timidity is finished. Finished in your routines, finished in your ambitions, finished in your identity. But domination is not loud. It is not arrogant. It is not showmanship. Domination is consistency. It is discipline when nobody watches. It is pressure applied in the smallest moments. It is choosing action over comfort every single time. You dominate first not by shouting but by executing. You dominate by turning "I should" into "I did." You dominate by closing the gap between intention and action. At about 40% of the journey, your brain will try to sabotage you with a lie. You've done enough for today. This is the moment where the weak stop. This is the moment where the average slow down. And this is the moment where domination is proven. When the inner voice tells you to coast, that is your signal to accelerate. That is where hunger is formed. That is where the gap between you and everyone else becomes unbridgeable. Dominate the exact moment when timidity thinks you are tired. Domination is a full-time identity. It is not something you switch on and off. You don't dominate for an hour and hesitate for the rest of the day. You don't dominate one task and fear the next. You turn domination into your default state. That means you attack your responsibilities. You attack your goals. You attack your plans. You don't wait for motivation. You generate momentum. You don't search for a spark. You light the fire yourself. Every time you let timidity win a battle, your confidence pays the price. You feel it. You know it. You felt that guilt after delaying something you know you should have done. That guilt is a warning. It is telling you what your life will look like if you keep choosing comfort. But every time you dominate and take action instantly, you feel a surge, a shift, a rise in power. That is not random. That is your identity catching up to your actions. That is confidence being built in real time. Dominate first, and the rest of your day unfolds differently. Decisions become simpler. Tasks feel lighter. The mind becomes sharper. When you start with domination, you set a standard that the rest of your actions must live up to. That early victory becomes an anchor that keeps you aligned. But when you begin with hesitation, everything after feels heavier. You spend the day trying to catch up to the version of you that never showed up. You must understand this. Timidity is not harmless. It is not a personality trait. It is an enemy. It fights to keep you small. It fights to keep you predictable. It fights to keep you obedient to your comfort zone. The life you want is outside that zone, not beside it, not near it, outside it. Domination is the only bridge to reach it. Timidity will never take you there. You cannot walk timidly into a future that requires power. This is your turning point. This is where you decide, once and for all, that the old version of you, the hesitant, the slow, the uncertain, the overthinking, no longer represents you. That version held you back, limited you, blocked your progress. That version dies today. The version that rises now is direct, decisive, forceful. You dominate first because domination is who you are now. Every phone call you've been avoiding, make it. Every plan you've been delaying, start it. Every habit you've been half committing to, lock it in. Every dream you've been scared to chase, step toward it now. Dominate first, timidity last. That is your creed now. That is your identity now. You don't wait for clarity. You create clarity through action. You don't wait for energy. You build energy through movement. You don't wait for courage. You manufacture courage through discipline. Every day becomes a battlefield where the first strike is yours. The world reacts to you, not the other way around. Domination is not a personality type. It is a skill you build through repetition, a skill you strengthen through discomfort, a skill you master through consistency. And once it becomes natural, once domination becomes your reflex, nobody can stop you. Not circumstance, not doubt, not other people, not fear, because fear can only control those who hesitate. You are no longer one of them. Dominate first, timidity last. This is how you win your day. This is how you win your week. This is how you win your life.